Welcome back to Tilted Glory Gaming. Today we are going to be talking about Space Marine 2 operations, etiquette, and general rules to take into operations, especially the higher tiered levels, the higher tiered difficulties like uh, Ruthless, Lethal, and Absolute difficulty. Um, Specifically, Absolute difficulty. Lethal, very much as well. Ruthless is just kind of the cutoff for it for the most part. First off, all of this is my general opinion. If you have a group that plays differently, by all means, uh, do that. This is just things that I've found have been basically widespread throughout the community on the way you should be acting in an operation with other randoms, not necessarily people that you play with all the time. If you do have comms, voice chat on, or you're willing to type it out. I know that's kind of hard for some of the console players, but it is what it is. If you do have that accessibility, do use that, and then you can play however you want to play. But that's with good communication. So we're going to start off here with stay in the group. Stop trying to be a lone wolf and running ahead. You are aggroing everything ahead of you, and your teammates back there are trying to fight through the horde so you don't get freaking ganged up on and killed. And what ends up happening, what I've seen more often than not, I remember one time I was playing with this level 25 player back before Absolute was out, and we were on Ruthless. I was level, I believe, 23 with my Assault class, and there was another player, I think, with Tactical that was at like level 20. And this level 25 player, Bulwark, ran ahead, paid no attention to the mobs, and picked up every stim he found. And then he promptly died. We were not able to revive him because we were nowhere near him. And he quit the game. All the stims gone. Aggroed everything. Just total dick move. Stop running ahead. Stay with the group. If you as a group agree to run past an area, it's very common on Reliquary to run past the bridge, not to stick around. That's one thing. However, if a teammate goes down, especially if you can get to them easily and your last brother standing, revive them. Okay, it is not a guarantee that you're going to make it to the end of that bridge. If you're close enough to get to them and it's safe to do so, don't just keep running. Um, okay, next we're going to go over basically your group architecture. The archetype of your group makes up for so much in this game. It determines how you should be playing as a group. So just a couple ground rules here for each class. Sniper, you're there to take out the Majoris or higher level mobs. So Extremis, Majoris. Terminus is a little difficult for Sniper at times. It depends on the Terminus, I find. But as a Sniper, they're always going to need ammo. Should be one of the first ones to get a crack at the ammo drops in the levels. Freaking Assault should not just be finding ammo and picking it up. You should be leaving it for some of the other classes that are more reliant on range damage. Seen that happen way too many times. Stop doing it. So again, Sniper, focusing on Majoris. If you have a bunch of groups of Majoris, you should be at least putting two of them into executional range and then going back to the first one. You can headshot the first one to get it out, and then if you're close enough, do an execute on the second one to get him out of there. If you have another teammate close enough, you can both do executes to save the ammo. We'll get into saving ammo here in a minute, but as a general rule, put a lot of shit in execution range real quick. Headshots are super good on Sniper, even if you're using something like the Stalker. But the bolt sniper, my favorite to use. That thing's amazing. Other than for dish shamans, that's bullshit. Uh, and also the plasma rifle is pretty good. Plasma sniper, not rifle. The heavy is general crowd control. You may not like it, but that is your job. You are the heavy. You have the most amount of ammo, and so many other classes are just, you know, kind of geared towards taking on one-on-ones rather than big hordes. You can put down a horde of enemies super quick. It may not be your favorite thing to do, but you picked heavy, and it is one of the best things heavy can do. The Melta, especially for Minoris control. Minoris control is nothing if you have a Melta on your team, but it's super annoying when you have a heavy that runs in line of sight of a sniper to go get Majoris enemies because heavy wants bigger kills, I guess. I don't know. The amount of damage you guys do to just Minoris will win you the range damage by far over anything else. Just stick to it. I've had heavies come in groups where they just do not focus on the Minoris, and then other teammates go down because they're just running around, not paying attention to Minoris enemies, just running past the groups and going straight for the Majoris. If you have Melta, especially, like I just said, take out the Minoris first. Once that's done, have at it. They also need ammo, obviously. The two biggest classes for ammo are sniper and heavy. They are always in need of ammo. If you have one or two on the team, you need to be calling out ammo to them, not hogging it for something like an assault, which I've seen done and is annoying as hell. Assault, you are, again, you may not like this, but you are the general AoE and stagger specialist. You stagger the groups. You get your jump pack, you stagger all the groups, and you put those Majoris into a more favorable range for execution. Um, it's just really good at that. And the AoE is basically the slams with the hammer and stuff like that. Because I see a lot of assaults playing with hammer. I play with hammer when I play assault. I don't see many people taking assault and not taking the hammer. Uh, I I don't see anyone on actual, random lobbies doing that. You might see your occasional streamer do it, but other than that, I'm not seeing it out in what you would call the real world. Again, you are there to allow them to pick off the other Majoris or major threats that you stunned. You're not going to take on three or four Majoris at once. I'm sure you can, being good enough. I'm not talking about your skill here, but it's just so nice to have them stunned and just you have four Majoris like executable right off the bat because the rest of your team is just sending a hail of bullets after you stun the enemies. So good. Um, Also, you are going to be needing to be good at taking on major threats on one-on-one duelists. You need to be able to take on an extremist or two at a time. You need to be able to take on um, what are they called? Hellbrutes, or that type of enemy. Uh, just because the amount of damage you can put in without obviously wasting ammo, you have unlimited damage. So long as you can get your parries and blocks and whatnot down, it's ridiculous. So that is your job. Vanguard is straggler cleanup crew. Any Majoris on the outskirts shooting at the group from afar or calling for help. Vanguard, that is you. Okay. Vanguard runs with lower armor, same as Sniper, but Vanguard is much more kind of like in the fight than Sniper is for the most part. Um, so as far as armor boost drops, they probably should be the first ones to grab those. Uh, Sniper, depending on what kind of sniper you have, um, would be a good one for it as well. Again, they're already down one armor slot. They just have a lighter armor than the rest of the group. Um, so basically, you're going to be using your ability the grappling hook to get out to those stragglers that are on the outskirts, shooting at everybody, and stop them from causing damage from the outside, as the rest of the group is trying to clean up the damage that's all close to the center. Um, Also, if you know something's calling for help that's out there, um, real quick way to get rid of it is just use your grapple on it. It stops it. So that's one of your major uh, things that you have to deal with. Sniper's also very good at that, stopping the call for help, just with headshots and whatnot. But Sniper's not always going to have the angle to get to it, whereas Vanguard is very much more mobile to get around. Um, because Sniper's just going to be in the back of the group most of the time. So Vanguard's going to be just in and out everywhere. Next we got Bulwark. This is your healing tank. Obviously, they've got a shield and everything. They also have the healing banner. This class is basically responsible for downs, straggler, minoris, or a one-on-one duelist. Majoris enemy. Um, you may not like that, but you're not as good at melee as assault is. You're not nearly as good as ranged as multiple of the other classes. Now, if you are the melee of the group, which you could be if there's no assault, um, then by all means. But assuming say you have an assault, a heavy, and a bulwark, bulwark is just going to be your healing tank that doesn't go down, doesn't really need a lot of help as far as taking things on, um, but always needs to be with the group and understand what is going on. They need to be around when someone with low health is doing an execution, so they can pop the banner and get them to full health again. That is your job. Damage be damned. Um, if you have a bulwark on your team and you lose because they are not popping a banner, it's on them. If they're just stealing, like holding banner just for themselves, and they're just not using it unless they get low in health, that's stingy, and the hell with that shit. Uh, team play, team play. Lastly, you have tactical, and it's exactly that. You should be basically a tactical genius to run this. I use that kind of not making fun of them, but also not actually meaning genius. I just mean you have to have your head on straight. You have to know what's going on. You have to be pretty good with both melee and ranged fighting, and keep an eye out for priority targets with the scan. Popping that scan on a group is fine. I've seen people pop it on one Majoris before, though, and that's stupid. Stop doing that. There's no reason for that. Heck, there's not even a reason to pop it on a freaking zone thrope. Zone thropes go down so quickly, even on absolute. Sniper, 2 hits. 2 shots from the bolt. Sniper, um, pretty much take it down. 4 at most, depending on where you hit it. But yeah, the tactical just needs to have its wits about him, and be able to kind of control the fight and make sure everything's going well. And if anything's starting to get out of hand, again, if you have a group that's ganging up on something, you just need to throw that scan out and get damage down, and just be able to control the horde in that way. Now, point 3, With all those, you should be able to figure out where you all sit. Um, so, like, just think logically who should be doing what. Again, those are very general um, archetypes for the classes. If your team doesn't have an assault, like I said, and you have a bulwark, well, that's going to be basically your main uh, like melee combat class for your group. That's it flows. It flows. So these are not, hard truths. These are just kind of general. Number 3, ammo conservation on higher difficulty levels is a must. No shooting executions while someone else has been fighting that enemy and is close to it. Can't tell you how many times I have like an extremist as a sniper, okay? And if you have a bolt sniper and you're fighting a what's it called? A lictor. And you're fighting a lictor, those things when they jump you and you parry them and shoot them, um, you can quick scope and headlock them into execution with a couple, sequential shots to the head. It just staggers them slightly enough time for you to get another shot off. But too many times I've done that, and then some jackass with a plasma rifle on the heavy or something just shoots the damn extremist as I'm running up to it to get an execute and kills it that way. Why? There's no need for that. Stop shooting executions if you don't need to, and then hogging the ammo afterwards because you're low on ammo. That's a you problem, not a team problem. Stop doing that. With that said, stop running past executions if you're on the back line. I've seen this happen too, where you're, got a sniper or something on the back line. Say you're running heavy and you're pushing the Minoris away, so you're going to run up to the other enemies, and all of a sudden, your sniper runs past you, and you look back, and there's 2 Majoris enemies back there executable, but they didn't bother executing them. They're running forward. What the hell? You're just going to get shot from behind and then have to deal with 2 different points of attack. That's just bad tactically all the way around. You don't see that happen too often, but I have seen it happen in random lobbies on absolute difficulty, and it's infuriating. Medical stims do not need to be used prior to having a mortal wound. You can use them. There's very specific times that you should be using them. It is not to just top off your health. When you take damage, you get that white section of your health bar. That is contested health. You can restore that plus the amount that the stim normally restores by using a stim once your health is down. So if say the stim restores 25% of your health, okay? It doesn't. It's closer to like 30%, I think. But anyways, say it restores 25% of your health, and you have, I don't know, 70. No, yes, 70. Say, because that doesn't come up to 100. So say you have 70% contested health, you are very low on damage, on health. Most of it's contested, and then you have, the top 25% that you're already missing. Using a stim while at 5% health with 70% contested will take you basically up to full. It heals all the contested plus the extra that the stim has. So keep that in mind. If you're going to use a stim, that'd be the time to use it if you don't have a mortal wound. If you do have a mortal wound, so the first time you revive from going down, first time you're helped up, you will have a mortal wound. 2 stims from that point of health. 2 stims will clear your mortal wound. So if you already have one, then you just need to let the team know you need a second one if they find one promptly without you taking any more damage to your health bar. If you take more damage to your health bar, there's no guarantee that 2 stims will do that. That becomes a problem. So keep that in mind. If you do have a partner that has gone down and you're pretty sure they have a stim already, and then you find another stim, you need to be calling that out to them so they can clear it. And not every player knows that, still knows that you can clear mortal wounds with overfilling your health bar, which is what you have to do. You have to technically overfill the health bar to get the mortal wound gone. Which again just gives you another down that you can have, and you don't get penalized with the really long timer. Next, relics are not to be used until your second down, obviously. If it is your first down and you have a relic, wait for a teammate to come get you. Don't just use it unless you are the last brother standing. I think it actually does it automatically for you, though, if you're the last brother standing. But regardless, stims always wait, or not stims, relics always wait until you have a mortal wound, and then you use it because you can't be revived by a teammate. The relic will revive you and put you back to not having a mortal wound. Do that. Stop going down and using relics right away. That's not good. You're hurting the group by doing that. The other one that kind of goes on that, just because relics and gene seeds kind of go together in my thought process, gene seeds should be left lay until the area is finished, and then you pick it up. When you are about to leave an area, that's when you pick up the gene seed. You do not pick up the gene seed at the beginning of the area, while there's still things in the area that you're fighting. You pick it up when you're leaving the area. Because if you go down with the gene seed, not even if you go down with a mortal wound, just down at all, gene seed's gone for that entire operation. So don't do that. Again, seen people do that. If a teammate goes down, you work your way towards the teammate to revive them. You don't just go off and be like, oh, there's a group over here I want to attack. Stop doing that. Your teammate went down. Go help them. You will go down. Ain't no player out there, even the people that run the true solo, I'm sure they go down as well. You run over. You don't have to go directly there and have a whole horde on top of you. I'm not saying that. But you need to fight towards them, not away from them or not ignore them. You need to go to them and help them. 3 main groups for that, 3 main classes. Most times you're going to have one of these guys on your group. If they're the ones that are down, well, that sucks. But sniper, because you have your cloak. Again, I play a lot of sniper, and every time, I always have a mic on. Every time a teammate goes down, I will holler out. If I have my cloak, I got him. I got him. That allows your other brother to not, try and disengage and possibly get more damage to his own health while he's running over to revive him. But it allows them to stay in the fight, and you run over and help him. It also just gives a heads up that, hey, I recognize you're down. I'm coming over. Just a second. I'll be right there. Bulwark, for obvious reasons, you are, again, the healing tank of the group. You should be watching for downs, and you should be helping people up, especially when the banner can raise people and fill up their health bar all the way. That's your job. If you don't like that, don't play Bulwark. I've seen too many Bulwarks go through the entire operation and not drop a freaking banner for another player other than themselves right before an execution. Stop playing Bulwark. That's not how it's supposed to be done. You are there to help the entire group, not just yourself. If you want to play by yourself, go play by yourself. Stop playing with randoms. If you're playing in a group and everyone knows this, play how you want. But if you're playing with randoms, that's what we're talking about here. The third one is the assault, and I group in the assault here only because of the jump pack charge. You can dash with it, so you can get away from the horde uh, easier than the other groups, and then you can beat the horde there to your down teammate and revive them. Also, you can jump barriers or gaps that you can't normally get across. So, like the first operation, if one person's on the platform all the way to the left, and the assault and I don't know, heavy are on the middle platform, and the person on the left platform goes down, the assault can literally jump across from one platform to the other. They don't have to go around. So, again, I really feel like that falls on you as well to be aware of down teammates. Those three especially are good at getting down teammates, and it's just really nice when a group works that way. It really makes the operation flow. 9. Check with your group or call out a specific player when getting items like relics, armor boost packs, ammo, and stims. If you have a heavy or a sniper or whatever, and you're an assault and you find ammo, call it out, ping it. There you go. If you have someone sitting on a mortal wound and you find a stim pack, ping it and call out that player. If you just ping it and then walk away, there's no guarantee that the other player that doesn't need it isn't going to realize that you're intending it for the person with the mortal wound, and they might be like, oh, well, shit, I'm not just going to let it lay, I'll take it. So just be aware, again, sometimes you're going to miss stuff, but for 3 people to miss something is a little horrendous. So between 3 of you, you should be able to figure that out. And again, that works for, ammo, stims, relics, armor boosts. I just had a, I'll wait for that story here until we get to there, which is actually going to be the next one. With that, stop being too proud to pick up stims when you are the lowest on health with a mortal wound. Had a guy in one of my operations, went through with him, and I had a relic. I'd picked it up as sniper because the other 2 just ran past it. So I picked up the relic. We're not going to let it sit there. We got to the bridge area where you, for the second operation, what is it called? Decapitation, I think. We got to the bridge area where you have to blow up the bridge. And you have like the couple hordes coming in across the bridge and whatnot to stop you. Got to that area, found a gene seed. Okay. So I'm like, okay, we're letting the gene seed sit. One of the other teammates went down while the hordes were going through before we blew up the bridge. So as soon as all the enemies were, killed and we had no more, I went over the gene seed and I called out to that player and pinged the area and said, come get this relic. I'm dropping it for the gene seed. I'm going to pick up the gene seed and I'm going to drop my relic. You take it. You're the only one with a mortal wound. He denied it. He denied taking it. I kind of chuckled and I said, you're denying it? And kind of backed up more. His character is kind of like move forward, move back, move forward, move back. He finally took it, but it's like, come on, what are you doing? Like, are you too proud to take a relic? Neither of the other two of us are on, a mortal wound. You just take the relic, dude. It's fine. Stop being too proud to take stims or relics or whatever. I've also seen players just low in health go through an entire operation. And again, if you're good enough to do that, that's great. You're also a liability to go down. So stop being too proud. Just pick it up. Um, Shit happens. Yeah, even the best players get cornered, get um, wombo comboed from nowhere, just staggered from one hit to another, and then go down. It happens. Uh, I've made it through first couple areas of an operation with full health, get there with full ammo or armor, and then within 30 seconds in this new area, I'm suddenly on like one hit from uh, going down, and I'm like, what the hell happened? It's because you got wombo comboed. Uh, it just happens. It's a thing. So don't be too proud to pick that stuff up if you are the one that would need it in the group, uh, according to the data available to everyone, not including your skill, because shit happens. Uh, if you're going to go into higher difficulty operations with randoms, specifically with randoms, with underpowered gear or classes, you need to okay it with the rest of the group first. I've seen a lot of content creators basically bragging, oh yeah, I went through this operation with a white weapon or a green weapon or whatever, basically not a relic weapon, uh, and it was fine. I did fine. No, you're hurting the rest of the group. You're being an asshole, to be quite frank. Um, no amount of skill will make that weapon do more damage. Uh, so it's going to take you longer to kill things. I'm not saying you can't, but I think the rest of the team needs to be on board with that. You being good just doesn't make it do more damage. Period. Yes, you may be good enough that you can get through it, but you are still going to put stress on the rest of the team. And if you say, no, I'm not, that's just you being either A, naive, or B, an asshole. Period. Stop being an asshole. No one wants to fail an operation because one guy decided to go into absolute with a green weapon and can't help the rest of the team be able to actually, get through stuff. Um, just that's one of my pet peeves for other content creators, just talking about it without putting any context on whether or not they asked the group if it was okay or if they let everyone know or anything like that. They just, oh yeah, I did this. It was fine. Oh. Lastly, if a teammate is focusing on a Majoris or higher enemy in a one-on-one fight and they're being attacked by Minoris, it is your job as a teammate to protect your partner and take out the Minoris. If you are otherwise free, it is not your job to also attack the same enemy they're attacking while they're being attacked by Minoris enemies. They are clearly preoccupied, not being bothered by the Minoris, but they're getting hit by the Minoris. Deal with that. If they then are still fighting the Majoris, go for it. But stop just being like, oh, no, 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 I want to help kill the big guys. I don't know what everyone's issue is with trying to take out Majoris enemies and no one focusing on Minoris. I've seen it a lot in operations. Again, you're the class archetype that you have going into an operation means a lot, and heavy especially. I find like to just run by my Norse enemies straight for Majoris. And yes, heavy does a lot of damage, but they're also the most equipped to deal with the Minoris. Um, so I get it. It doesn't feel good to just take out 15 Minoris enemies while your other teammates take out, 5 Majoris. It just feels meh. But that's the difference between successfully beating an operation and failing an operation at times. Um, Again, skill be damned. Uh, some people are going to be better and not have to worry about any of this. But again, this is kind of etiquette, basic rules that I've picked up from playing the game with other people, and uh, just playing with randoms and what I've seen and things that I know irritate me that should not be happening. So keep that in mind. As per usual, if you haven't already, please consider liking, subscribing, leaving a comment. Let me know if any of my takes here are wrong. And yeah, please consider ringing that bell as well if you are subscribed so you get a notification when we bring out a new video. With that, you guys have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.